Na kitu moja tu mimi nawaomba, msianze tena.
George, what did you want to say?
Najua mtaanza, mimi nawaomba tu.
I just wanted to point out at what you just told Mr. Canada here.
Imagine a man picking up his phone to call his daughter, asking her, hey, did you manage to get that loan so that we can pay for my son, your brother, school fees? Just take a second and think about that. You've had 30 years ahead of me as your child, and you're coming back to me to ask me for help.
But are you considering that life is so unpredictable?
Why isn't it unpredictable to this daughter of yours who seems to be making it? There's something you're doing wrong.
Because she's in a prime.
Yeah, then your prime is done and you need to die and leave the people who can handle the business. Take out this food, this mouth to feed. Because now you're just useless. Now you're just useless. Now you're in the world just adding to the pain instead of, there's nothing you're helping with.
When a lion is hurt in the jungle, it's no longer the king of the jungle. It's food. And that is what Darwinism theory is. Survival for the fittest. So what you're asking, Andrew, is whether a man at his lowest, he should not ask for help.
Yes, even if the help has to come from their kids.
So there is help and there is handout. Are you asking for a handout or are you asking for a hand up?
Kibe doesn't consider both.
Let me give you a very vivid picture. And you mentioned him. He's a very good example that I like to use. OMOSH. He got to a point where he was of no more use to planet Earth. I'm going to say it very slowly so that it sinks on everybody who is going to be shocked by the reality of it. When he wasted his life and went at the bottom of his existence, OMOSH should have died. And we would have buried him with honor and fond memories the way they buried Odhuor.
Hey, mbinguni ni mzuri. We, nyinyi tendeni tu dhambi. Mbinguni ni mzuri. Mimi niliona nyumba yangu ya gold. Kwa nyumba yangu ya gold nimefunga towel ya silver. Yes, ni mbinguni.
And we would have fixated in our mind what a great man he was. His pride.
He has entertained everyone. Mkenya yote pahali popote alipo tunajua OMOSH na tumecheka sana kwa TV zetu pale Taidi High. He's a legend also.
Now, we brought him back from the dead and we propped him up with money. And he promised the whole universe. All he needed was
camera, tripod, and lights to wheel.
And he is back to his best self. How many years has it been now?
The entire COVID period.
He should have died and buried with honor. That is what Andrew is trying to tell you. There is no helping somebody who has run out in the cycle of Darwinism theory. It's survival for the fittest. When you break, you go. Now, he became a burden to everybody. Remember there was a house that he was given?
Me, I never hide about telling OMOSH the truth. Yeah. And I called OMOSH, nikamwambia OMOSH, what you've done again is very sad. Very sad to come out and make people who donated for you look stupid.
Which he wanted to sell.
He was looking to sell the house. Camera, tripod, naturalized wheelie. What has he done with it? He waits for Andrews to mention his name, then he runs in front of that little camera and he creates content for 30 seconds. And then he's back to his old self. He has exhausted his usability as a man.
Kafukuzo unasikia? Hewa mbele.
On the same show, on the same chair that OMOSH was seated and interviewed by Jalango, where we came to know of his misery and his misstep and everything, on the same chair, on the same seat, was a young lady called Vanessa. We all know her as Cartoon Comedian. You go there and watch her story, a very sad background, where she was telling us how she could not even afford school fees. And she was telling us that she would go to school for a brief moment and then she would drop out and she would team up with her mom and they would look for school fees. And then she would go to the school and beg the teachers to accept her back. That was her life. And what did she want when she came on Bogana Jalas? A camera. Just like OMOSH. So OMOSH get the camera, Cartoon gets a camera.
Thank you so much for your support. Nimefurahi, napenda your love, imenikuta, imenifikia. Ni venye tu siwezi wa thank personally, but asanteni sana manze na mean a lot.
Now 1 year later, we can look on Cartoon's YouTube channel and what we see within that year, she got the help she needed 1 year ago. And you go and look now what she has done with the help and the camera that she got. And what we know now is she has even ventured into the world of music.
There's no more begging. It's a stupid ass lambistic shit to men who probably cheat. Stupid ass lambistic shit to men who probably cheat.
She got a hand up. OMOSH got a hand out.
Sina anything ya kumpatia Kira. I don't have nothing. I have no job.
And those are the two distinctions. The distinction between assistance for a brief moment, for a brief period of time, because you just need to get over on the other side. And this perpetual downward spiral dependence on others for survival. But if you still feel there is something you need to contribute, then turn around your life, stop messing up with it in your head, and pursue your purpose. Now, the same cannot be said of OMOSH, because we showed him that we are disrupting the Doinsim theory. We stepped in and we baby him now. Now he is our responsibility. Just like the father is now piggybacking on his daughter's life. Reality has no place for that. That guy you are referring to, that Andrew gave a story of, he has no business being a burden to his daughter. If you want to go to your Bible, it tells you, a good man leaveth inheritance to his children and his children's children. It's only in the black community where we flip it and now we impose black tax. Those are the harsh realities. This is how 99% of the world operates. It's only when it comes to black people, we want to impose the black tax. And that's why the dynamics are inverted. You have no business being in this world if you cannot afford to be in this world. You have no business being in this world if you're a burden to your young ones. It only makes sense in the black community and nowhere else. It's not real life. Serve your purpose, be at your best, and then you're out. But don't be a burden as an adult. That's what Andrew keeps saying. You have had 35, 40 years head start at life before you have these offsprings. And now you want to guilt them into propping you up to live a life you shouldn't live.
But George and Kibe, like just
no, this is Joyce George.
Okay.
My craziness is my craziness. Go for it.
Okay, so just to understand, you know, the mine-up stereotype is actually making so many men hold up information about either when they're crashing or when they're going through something. They can't talk about it. Just because you've been told to man up.
I grew up in the village. And let me give you an example of my neighbor. This is when KWAL, Kenya Wine something.
Kenya Wine Agencies, yeah.
Yes, it used to be a government agency, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, it was.
So these young men just married and had 3 children. He was at the top of his game working for KWAL. And then for some reason, he got fired. And he gathered the little he had and he started raising pigs. And he buried all his effort in raising pigs. And when his pigs started picking up, he started raising chicken for the broilers. The broilers are the one for meat. And this is deep in the villages of central Kenya, where we only see a car once a month. And people in trucks from the city would come to the village to pick up the pigs. This used to be Farmer's Choice was the only, market for pig. Farmer's Choice would come and pick it to be a spectacle when they come pick up the pig. And then Ken Chick would come and pick up his chicken. And he built himself from that low life that he was dealt when he got fired at KWAL, and he started this business. Then he got into an argument with his dad, and his dad chased him away from that piece of land. So he had a huge tank to supply water for the animals, and he had all these houses for the pigs and the chicken. He lost all of it because of the argument with the father. He gathered the little money he had and he bought a tiny little piece just around the corner. And then what did he start doing? He started raising silkworms. A complete out of the ordinary phenomenon. And he picked up himself from there. And then when it came to, those faces that people say, oh, these are the best cows to raise, he brought the best cows and started selling milk. These are the best milk goats. He started bringing that. I have seen that man down so many times when we were growing up, but I have never seen him stay down. Man up. Not a OMOSH style of piggybacking yourself on everybody else and you become a vagabond, useless piece of a burden to the entire ecosystem.
And they'll go lambistic piece of shit.